You ever think about the day when the robots take over? You know, when Skynet comes online, when we reach the singularity? Maybe I just watch too many of those videos of robots who can do parkour now, pretending that they're not a real life Terminator army just waiting for the right time. Yep, this is fine. But when the robots do come, I also like to think about it in the most mundane and comical ways. Like when the robots come for our jobs. I like to think of it as like a literal one-for-one switch of jobs, like some sort of dystopian sorting hat ceremony. And you will be the doctor robot, and you will be the president robot, and you, robot CX359J, you have to be the e-learning robot. And I just feel bad for this robot. Can you imagine its first day on the job, trying to create an e-learning course? Well, I mean, some of the e-learning courses I've taken out there already look like they've been written by a robot, so maybe not such a tough job after all. But hey, robots, technology, AI, I guess it's natural to speculate about the future. All that excitement and fear and, well, just general curiosity comes out of our favorite question. Where is L&D even going? What's the future of L&D? Well, it just so happens I left my tarot cards at home today, so there won't be any bold predictions. But how about we talk about the future of L&D a little differently? Let's talk about the future by focusing on the present. Because we've got some work to do before we hand it over to our robot overlords. Hi, I'm Josh. I'm an enterprise digital learning leader spending over a decade helping some of the world's biggest organizations transform how they view digital learning. I'm obsessed with the idea of modern learning and how we can use digital, the content, the technology, the design, to truly help people, organizations, and digital learning leaders like you be at their best. Welcome to Digital Learning Done Right. All right, well, let's dive in. It's hard to gauge where L&D is going to be in a week from now, let alone a decade. I mean, we're a few TikToks away from some tech bro declaring that he canceled his L&D department because a crypto ad told him to do so. We live in crazy times. But if you've read your fair share of big trend articles, or just have been acutely paying attention to your own organization, there's some things we can all agree on. L&D is trending in a very clear direction. Increased agility, increased accountability, increased relevance. We need to move quicker to keep up with times of unprecedented change. We need to deliver more impact, and we just need to show up with more purpose. And our learners? Well, we know this story. Increasingly distracted, increasingly bored, or maybe apathetic is a better word, and also increasingly self-sufficient. And I guess now we solve for X, right? I mean, that's enough to go on. This is the challenge of today, and it's not going away anywhere anytime soon. But our future is right there if we simply focus on what's in our own backyard. So let's focus on the future we can build, the one we can impact. Here's 3 things we need to do today to have the future we want tomorrow. The first is, the future belongs to those who can earn a meaningful seat at the business table. The first to demonstrably and consistently show impact, the ones who have cracked the code of complex human behavior and can isolate the effects of learning on impact. You know, the simple stuff. But here's the kicker. The ones who can do that in a simple and repeatable way, that's who the future belongs to. Because we already know there are ways to do this. We've got Kirkpatrick, we've got other powerful models of measurement. It's not like this is impossible to do. It's just really hard and, let's be honest, really annoying to do. And it takes a ton of partnership, whether on the vendor side or within your own organization. It takes partnership and persistence and commitment. And that's why so often it falters. So the first to do this in an easier, simpler, scalable way, well, that's the future. And depending on your view of this, this is either really complex or really simple. Maybe it's just a matter of rolling up your sleeves, getting to work, and prioritizing the right things within your organization. Because let's be honest, we spend a lot of time creating the stuff and putting out the stuff and ensuring the stuff is taken. But we're not really paying attention to the other half of that equation, and that is, what exactly is this stuff achieving? Measuring the effectiveness of learning is complex, we know this. And so finding a simple language and methodology to navigate your own organization, that's a powerful idea that's going to take it by storm. All of a sudden, you're the one who shows up with more than just completion rates and course libraries. And the conversation is not focused on building, training, or finding the right LMS, but about solving real organizational challenges and the critical role of L&D to help solve it. I don't know about you, but I get goosebumps just thinking about that. So yes, the future belongs to those who can earn a meaningful seat at that table. Next, L&D needs to reinvent itself to be more useful, more effective, more relevant. And when I mean reinvent, I mean truly reinvent. Scorched earth, carte blanche, winter is coming. We need to stop being something that's just there, a pain in your side or a compliance machine, but something that people are genuinely excited about, something to look forward to. Stop what you're doing and go to your organization and ask them, how can we be more helpful? How can we be more relevant to you? Do a stop, start, continue, anything to get out of your rivers of thinking. Actually, looking for a great idea for your next team offsite? Well, my first piece of advice is don't do it on a boat. I know you think a boat party is a great idea. Believe me, it is not a good idea. Do not do a team offsite on a boat. My second piece of advice, though, is if you've got a team offsite, build a day over just one question. If we were to build L&D from the ground up, what would it be? What would your activities look like? What would your culture look like? Don't shoot anything down, and certainly don't talk about technology. Talk about what it looks like, feels like. Think about the brand of learning you want to be to your people and rebuild it from the ground up. Imagine if we could say our L&D department is the best kept secret in our organization. We're in serious need of a rebrand to today's learner, to today's workforce, and we need some excitement, some charisma. I don't care if you need to create a mascot, stitch the costume yourself and wear it. Do what you need to do to create some buzz. We love doing our reaction statements. Here's one for our own future. My L&D department is cool and innovative and helpful. Let's instill some pride back into what we do. So yes, the future belongs to those who earn a meaningful seat at the table. And the path to doing that is by having L&D reinvent itself to be more useful, effective, relevant, and, more exciting. Which brings us to our last point, which might be the toughest one of all. And that is that fortune favors the bold. No, this isn't a crypto commercial, but rather about how we get there and how we get there quickly. I've worked with a lot of organizations to help optimize their digital learning strategy and sometimes even build it from the ground up. And the ones who expedited their success, the ones who found the quickest path to impact, were the ones who took a chance and did something daring. Something that potentially was going to ruffle some feathers, or maybe make their team uncomfortable at first. But the payoff was right around the corner. The most exciting stories I've heard within organizations is when they decided to do something radically different. Boldness. And boldness can take a variety of forms. This starts by even thinking about how your own team is assembled. I like to play the game of, what if I gave the keys to L&D to a journalist, a game designer, a marketer, a data expert, a design expert, a storyteller? What if we gave it to Nintendo? What if we gave it to Ogilvy and Mather? What if we gave it to Malcolm Gladwell? Well, actually, if we gave it to Gladwell, he'd just make us all do 10,000 hours of training, so maybe not the best example. But learning is ubiquitous. It exists in the domains of everything, so why are we not exploring all the domains around us? It's great fuel for boldness. And if you ask me, the L&D team with the most radical, the most bold point of view will have a better chance of success than the one who's just passively putting stuff out there. But of course, boldness also means support from above. And if you're a digital learning leader who helps inform and guides budgets, give your team a little slack. A bold vision also needs a budget behind it. A budget to upskill, reskill, or even bring in the right talent. A budget to try, and maybe even fail, but most importantly, to learn. Learn more about your organization. And at the very least, the starting point for boldness is saying, we're not going to do what we did yesterday, and we'll figure it out from there. Fortune favors the bold. Boldness will get you there faster. And let's be honest, you're going to have a ton of fun along the way there too. So let's stop worrying about the trends or the AI or whatever is keeping us up at night. Let's focus on the future we know we can build together. There's no crystal ball here. No, this is a different ball. It's a dodgeball, and it's hitting us all in the face repeatedly until we wake up and see what's right in front of us. What's important about any of these things is that no matter where you sit in the org, you have a role in making any of these happen. And that's really exciting. The moment is right there for us. The optimism, the opportunity is ripe as ever to stand up and grab the future that we want. And there's a new generation of L&D thinkers that are taking over, and it's amazing to see what they're coming up with. So, yeah, the future of L&D belongs to you, because there isn't a special secret. It's about the right mindset, commitment from your key sponsors, and a badass boldness to do things differently. Put away the prediction machine. Or, better start shopping for that robot costume now. It'll make our overlords happy. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this, tell a friend, share it with a colleague, and come find me on LinkedIn if you're looking to fight me, or just to keep the conversation going. Got an idea for a future episode? Let me know. Or go to digitallearningdoneright.com. That's digitallearningdoneright.com, and drop an idea in our suggestion box. Next time, we'll talk about the Rebel Alliance, the greatest L&D movie of all time, and how to break through within your own organization.